Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Ferentz, and I'm here to talk about the welding process and the various types of welding that I have done in my academic career. So far, welding has a long history. The history of welding has come a long way since the Bronze Age. The Egyptians were making pieces of art by welding metals together thousands of years ago. Since the 1800s, welding has come a long way, and in 1892, welding received its first patent. Some of you may be wondering, what is the function of welding? Welding is joining the metals. What welding does is join metals or other materials at their molecular level with the technology that is available. Welding is used to create or repair metal structures by fusing metals together. This is using an open flame, also known as acetylene. In 1836, a man named Edmund Davy discovered acetylene. 3 decades prior, a man named Sir Humphrey Davy invented a battery-operated tool that is used on carbon electrodes. This is the electrode. A number of other welding processes have been developed since the 1800s. Some of the welding processes that I will be discussing are stick welding and arc welding. Almost any metal can be welded depending on the process and conditions. The people who determine what and how the metals can be welded are called metallurgists or welding engineers. The 3 most common welded metals are steel, stainless steel, or aluminum. I like to weld with steel. The first step in the welding process is practicing safety. Some of the safety products include a welding hood, safety glasses, welding cap, leather gloves, or a welding jacket. A welding hood is most important because welding arcs emit both IR and UV wavelengths of light. If you leave your eyes unprotected from this light, you could experience burning or discomfort and possible damage to the eye. Welding hood also protects you from getting flash burns from the sparks. Making yourself familiar with the type of welding machine you'll be using is another important element. There are many styles and brands out there, but the brand I like to use is Miller. The process of welding and components. There are 4 components to a weld. The 4 components are the metals themselves: a heat source, filler metal, and shield from the air. The welding process works like this. The metal gets heated to its melting point. At the same time, there is some sort of shielding from the air to protect it. And then the filler metal is added to the area that needs to be joined, ultimately producing a single piece of metal. Welding is all about flow and control, getting a feel for the wire speed against the heat and thickness. It comes down to lots of experimenting and not trying to force the weld by just laying down a ton of wire. When you can read what the metal is doing, you can dial in the speed and heat for beautiful, strong welds. Stick welding and metal inert gas and flux core arc welding and tungsten inert gas welding. All of the above are listed required electricity to create the heat needed to weld metals. The main difference between all of these processes is the way the filler metal is added and how the weld is shielded from the air. Stick welding uses a rod that has a powder coating that burns or melts to create a shield from oxygen. Some rods have filler metal added to the coating to speed up the welding process. Stick welding is the most common form of welding. How to stick weld: you have your electrode right here, and you have a stinger that's called. It's kind of like a pair of pliers. Put it on, and you strike it, and you just go along like this. If I had to rate the level of difficulty on a scale of 1 to 3, stick welding is a 2. Stick welding is also the best process to use outdoors. I find welding to be an interesting field for a career choice. Welding is used in so many different types of industries, from automotive to building bridges and repairing ships and working underwater. An average car has over 4,000 welds. I look forward to continuing my education goals to become a welding engineer. Thank you for allowing the opportunity to explain the process of welding.